Hello everyone, I'm Mike DeAngelo with That's Entertainment, and this is your video review of Vanquish by Platinum Games. When 2010 started, gamers were treated to one of the better games of the year, which pretty much showed up completely by surprise, and was definitely a dark horse success for its developer. Darksiders was a brand new franchise, but it has left a lasting mark, and it clearly shows that new IPs are still relevant to the industry, a fact that is taking shape in even greater bounds in 2011. However, while last year began with a bang, it might have ended with an even greater one. Another new intellectual property, called Vanquish, was released by Platinum Games. It is the fourth of 5 of the developer's contracted games for Sega, and with each step forward, they are becoming more prolific with their work. But every journey has its missteps. Was Vanquish one of them?
The American government has been betrayed by one of its own. You two are the only ones I can trust with this information.
It should be no surprise to anyone that humanity is on the verge of using up all of our natural resources. Gas prices are at record highs, fossil fuels are running dangerously low, and someone needs to do something to prevent Earth from descending back into the Dark Ages. The United States, in the near future, creates a solar generator in space to harness energy for our at-risk planet. While this would be acceptable for most, the Russians, fiction's go-to bad guys, are simply not having any of it. After a coup within the Russian Federation, they hijack the solar generator and overload it directly on top of San Francisco. If you've ever seen the movie The Core, it's very similar. Basically, it's like turning the microwave on across an entire city. The United States doesn't bargain with terrorists, even in the future when a radioactive blast from orbit is possible, and even with New York on the line. Instead, the President sends all the military force she can muster, as well as Sam Gideon, a DARPA researcher with a high-tech suit, to wrestle control of the space station away from the psychotic Russians. Sam's suit is the main concept point of Vanquish. Without it, a lot of the mechanics of the game wouldn't make much sense. The ARS, or Augmented Reaction Suit, makes the researcher a walking tank, but with a great deal of versatility in combat. Combat itself falls largely upon the use of quickly getting to cover while hordes of enemy robots or solitary behemoths open fire on you. To give Sam the best chance of surviving, the ARS has boosters that rocket him forward to safety, or if you're feeling particularly lucky, into the face of whatever opposition is trying to rip off your face. The high-speed capabilities of the ARS don't stop with navigating the battlefield either. As a natural reaction to extensive danger, the suit enters augmented reality mode, which basically slows down time, allowing Sam to reach safety. You can also enter this mode at any time to locate enemies and strategically pick them off. The only problem with this is that the ARS tends to overheat a lot, and when it does, Sam is pretty much a sitting duck if he isn't behind cover. Any significant use of the suit's capabilities saps its power, and despite all of its cool abilities, immortality is not one of the ones it bestows. To top that off, you've never really got a clear indication of how much life you have. You've always got to assume that the next landed shot will kill you. The suit also has a lot of offensive firepower. The blade system flawlessly replicates weapons that Sam finds on the space station, and allows him to switch between 3 stored types. There are 8 different kinds of guns on board, in addition to 2 different kinds of grenades. Each of these weapons can be upgraded as you proceed through the game as well. Platinum Games is becoming one of the more well-known, visually impressive development houses. Things might not have looked too great when you consider games like Mad World or Infinite Space, which released on Nintendo systems and still favored style over substance. But then consider their release prior to Vanquish, the Black Magic action title Bayonetta. It should come as no surprise that their latest game looks good, but it's almost incredulous to say that it looks better at some points. Audibly, things are somewhat normal and a little repetitious. You aren't going to be singing high praises of the songs or the sound effects, but the voice work is at times commendable. One thing to consider: every few minutes of action is broken up with a short clip of cinematics, and that way it almost seems to embody the Metal Gear franchise. Accounts of game length have varied depending on who you're talking to. Everyone plays differently, and that has a lot to do with what you'll get out of this game. While it's not hard per se, it is very unforgiving. If you run into a crowd of enemy soldiers, you are going to get mowed down, time and time again. The general consensus is that it takes between 5 and 7 hours to go through, including the cutscenes. Another thing to keep in mind is that on the harder difficulties, your weapon upgrades degrade when you die. It's always nice to see a new developer climbing their ranks in the video game industry. For a long time now, we've been privy to the big powerhouses, but with Platinum Games' large strides, they've definitely become one to look out for. With their latest title, they've managed to merge intense action with an interesting story, with some decent character development. It'll be incredibly interesting to see what comes next. That's Entertainment awards Vanquish a score of 9 out of 10.